Welcome to Truth No Chaser. Today we have Dr. Cee Nicole, a weight specialist, who's going to talk about 5 important key topics, such as common facts and or myths regarding weight loss, challenges regarding obesity and or weight loss in the Black community, differences between commonly marketed weight loss medicines, why it seems harder to lose weight as you get older, and last, tips and tricks for those working from home and or at an office-tied desk.
Before we get to that wonderful information, we want to make sure that if you are watching the visual version of this podcast on youtube.com, make sure that you download and listen to the audio version of this podcast anywhere that you can find all of your favorite podcasts. If you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, especially if you're listening through Apple Podcasts, make sure you click the link. It says support the show. That way we can continue to bring you wonderful programming, great guests, and quality production to give you facts and information to help save our community. And if you're already, of course, listening to the audio version of this podcast, make sure you check out the visual version at youtube.com/The Truth No Chaser. And let's get to this weight loss information.
Truth No Chaser.
Welcome to Truth No Chaser. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jay.
And I'm Frank.
And this is a shot of truth stirred with bold opinions, reversing the miseducation of the Black community as it relates to health, politics, and cultural identity.
Often in our culture, we are trying to lose weight, and it is a struggle for a lot of us, right? I know even I look skinny, right? But I got a little gut. Anywho, we want to talk about what are some of the common facts and or myths about weight loss.
That's a big question. But I think the biggest myth is that weight is just diet and exercise. I think a lot of us, like literally all of us, at one point in time has gone through some sort of crash diet and tried some sort of crazy workout because we have thought that that is the recipe to success, right? I know me personally, I've done the keto, the intermittent fasting, the cabbage, I'm going to drink water. I'm done you name it, I've done it. And then we've tried I'm going to do this workout. I'm going to get up at 4. I'm going to do this. And, we've done I'm going to go for 2 weeks and I'm going to go hard. And we've told ourselves that if I work out, if I change my eating habits, then I should be able to get on the scale and see results, right? And you hear it everywhere. You see it everywhere. You get told this when you go to the doctor. The 30 days, lose 30 pounds, like all of the things, right? So you go hard, then you get on the scale, like Saturday morning, you pee, you get up, get naked, like you get on the scale, like you give yourself a pep talk, like, okay, all right, it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you get on, you close your eyes, you open your eyes, like, okay, that's it. And then, like, the scale doesn't move. Yeah. So the first thing we all do is, like, we first say to ourselves, okay, but I must
discouraged. You don't see the results happening, so this ain't working.
Maybe it's not in the cards. Or what you first do is you first say, all right, you start going through all right, so last week I was in the gym, but like I really didn't do it. So I was like on the phone and like, okay, so I could have probably did that a little bit. And then the other day I was supposed to be drinking just water, but like I did cheat because I did have a little bit of vodka. So maybe this week I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it. Exactly. So then you go back and you beat yourself up a little bit, and so then you say, okay, this week we doing it, like we doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like we getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not doing nothing. I'm not eating nothing. I'm telling everybody we not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like we not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm shut up. Basically like don't come near me with nothing. Right? Like that's it. And then so like then the next week like you in there. You know what I'm saying? You didn't sweat your hair out. You didn't you haven't eaten number celery, like all of the things. And then the next Saturday, you naked, you get on a scale, like, I know this is it. Like, I know this is all the things, right? And so you like, I swear to God, I'm about to be 5 pounds down. You know what I'm saying? You excited. And then you get on a scale and it is the exact same, right? And then now this is discouragement because you like, I swear to God, like, it ain't no way. right? And now you rethinking like, I didn't go to brunch, okay? This person didn't had a birthday party, I didn't go. I didn't passed up this drink, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? And now you're like,
I should have went to Keisha.
you know what I'm saying? Like, for all of this, I should have had like all of the things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so now I am pissed off. Then I'm sad. Now I'm beating myself up. And so now I'm like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna do that, like, right? So the problem is though, is that like a lot of times it's more to somebody's weight story than diet and exercise, right? And so when you're not accounting for those things, when you're not accounting for maybe you're taking a medication, maybe the hormones, maybe the genetics, maybe whatever it may be, you're gonna like really just run yourself ragged. You're gonna go in circles and you're going to end up just feeling defeated over and over and over again because you're not going to see results. And we're human. Like, we operate on results. Ain't nobody going to do something over and over again if we're not seeing a result.
Right. Absolutely.
It's insanity.
Absolutely. And I get it. The one thing also, like, people don't value the small wins.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you see, people do not understand ounces.
They don't.
Their ounces is a loss as well. You understand? So when they get on the, like you said, when they feel like they bust their ass, and they get on the scale, and it's only like 6 ounces or 4 ounces less than, you know, like you said, there comes the discouragement and stuff like that, because you see yourself every day. So, you know, you're the last person to notice your weight loss and stuff like that. Me personally, I ain't that type of person. But I had to learn how to be.
Yeah.
You know, and I've struggled, you know, up and down my weight loss. I lost over 100 pounds years ago, like on just doing aerobics, like maybe 4 times a week and stuff like that. But I used to do the same thing, step on the scale every Saturday. You know, that was the way in. The funny thing that you just mentioned, that you keep mentioning, is the pee. Y'all big on that. Women are big on the pee, on the morning pee. Y'all think that's gonna make the absolute difference. I was in a
water weight or something.
It don't matter, but we do it, and it doesn't. But I'm gonna tell you what, we do it, and you can't convince yourself not to.
I was listen, I was in a weight loss competition with a few women at my school before COVID, and let me tell you, they were like adamant about that. They were like, oh, you know, the morning check-in, and it was just like, wait, I gotta go pee. You see a bunch of teachers running down the school like trying to hold it and stuff like that. They thought that was like, I'll pee this gonna be 3 pound difference, and this is just like, no, ladies.
So is that a myth?
Yeah.
There you go.
Debunk the myth. Debunk the myth. Is that a myth?
That pee is only but so only but so much, ladies.
But
you're not gonna win Biggest Loser.
But you know what? I'm not gonna knock somebody's process. You know what I'm saying? If that's your process, it's your process. And you know what? I do it. I can't stop myself from doing it. I pee before I weigh myself, and I'm gonna keep on doing it.
You said it 7 times, so I figured.
But you know what though? But you mentioned something that's so important. Is the knowing that there's different types of wins, right? And so like the number on the scale is 1, but another win is like your blood pressure is better, right? Your cholesterol levels are better. And you know what that ties into is that word obesity that like black people hate.
That dreaded O word.
Right? Like that word that black people hate.
What you call me?
That's worse than the N word,
right? But then when you use that word,
call a nigga O word.
Right.
Ready to fight.
Right. Take the earrings off. Like, what? Hold on.
So you're about to go into it. Let's speak on the challenges regarding obesity and weight loss in the black community. Like you were just about to talk.
The O word.
About to talk about us.
Right. No,
and
that was really cool because I derived that from your website. So you focus a lot on the Black Hispanic community. So I wanted to hear a lot, especially since we are the podcast for Black people, by Black people, about everything Black.
Everything.
So that was certainly fitting for us to touch on.
Yeah. So I started Wait a Minute Clinic because one, weight and obesity is different, right? So like obesity, like it kills. Like it kills us. And I think it kills us because we hate being told that we have obesity, and we hate somebody even hinting at it. Like we literally be in the doctor's office, like, and not only do we hate hearing it, but we make doctors scared to talk about it, right? And so then we're in the whole office visit, and they'll go through everything. Like they'll literally do the breast exam, the lung exam, and then they get to the very end and be like, so, you know, I want to talk to you about, you know, your height and your weight, and then they start getting real low, and then they, you know, and then because they don't want to offend, they don't want to get a bad review, you know, like, and then so it's like, you know, so I want you to, you know, exercise a little bit, you know, and then they start kind of like, right, exactly, you know, and then, you know, maybe,
so what are we doing?
You know, like, all right, and then eat a little healthier, all right, and I'll see you back, you know, and then it's just like, you know, just real quick, right? And but because of that, like, it's just an opportunity missed. Like it's an opportunity on both sides to like have an honest conversation about like the fact that like, hey, like your BMI is starting to creep up a little bit. And like, let me just ask you, do you know how many people in your family like have diabetes? Like, have you had a talk with your parents or your uncles? And, you know, what does that look like in your family? And have anyone had complications? And hey, let's talk about what your A1C is. Like right now it's healthy, or right now you have prediabetes. And do you know what that means? And then if you don't, I want to stop you because I don't want you to walk out of here without knowing what that means and what it can be when it goes up versus down and what it takes to get it to go down. Like none of that stuff happens on a frequent basis, or not frequent enough. And we don't stop to ask our physicians. Our physicians don't make it a priority to have those conversations. And part of it is like, there's not enough time. There's not enough, like there's just a whole lot of not enough, right? And so it just leads to us dying, you know? And we don't have to, and we shouldn't. And like the rates of us black and brown dying of things like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, like it is ridiculous compared to our counterparts. Like it's dumb, you know? And it's because like of obesity. And like it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I love it. You know, you like speaking to my soul because honestly, like you said, weight loss is just a portion of it. It's not the whole thing in its entirety, because you can be successful in your weight loss and, you know, all other areas you kind of not checking off a little bit. You know, I literally just went to my endocrinologist on Monday, and while on Ozempic, I'm 22 pounds down since being on it, and I'm like, when I weigh in at the beginning of my appointment, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about, you know, because I've been working on them. But she's like, let's talk about this A1C, and I'm like, why we gotta bring up shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but do not
congratulate my progress.
But honestly speaking, between that and my glucose levels is like high, and that's more concerning. It's not all about weight, black people. We attribute the weight loss to the looking good and the feeling good, but not if you're, you know what I'm saying, your glucose levels is high, or not if, you know, and you don't even realize like the signs because you don't take the time to sit with your doctor, like you said, and start talking about the blurry visions and you know, all the things that come along with it. So that's exactly why we're here with you. So you can like educate our black people on that, because you know they really just think, oh look, he looking good, he looking awesome, look at you looking slim, look at you looking slim, and then that person pass out the next week,
right?
You know what I'm saying? They found unresponsive, God forbid, you know, and they like, he was doing so good and yada yada. No, you thought he was because he lost weight.
But you know, and that's like, it's such an important point and difference, and that's why I'm so adamant always about using the word obesity, because you can experience weight loss but no change in your obesity. And and so what that means is like someone can have obesity, which means their weight and BMI can be high, and then they have things that come with it: the diabetes, the pre-diabetes, the hypertension, gout, all of the things that are associated with that sick fat, right? But then you can lose weight, right? Meaning your number can change on the scale, but let's say you're actually losing your muscle mass, but not the actual fat tissue and the bad fat. So your number is changing. You looking good on them jeans, you in a bikini, you looking, you know what I'm saying, all the things. So you may be quote unquote where you want to be, but you haven't made a dent in your hypertension numbers. You still on the same number of meds. You having gout attacks every other week. And so in terms of your health, nothing has changed. So you are still the same level of and having obesity as you were before. So
but look good.
I'm feeling
but you look good.
So what? So
I'm feeling attacked because I definitely be on Shein like, no, give me that large. No longer XL. Give me that large.
Listen,
Niggas
my
getting
next appointment is gonna
skinty.
be crazy because I got a whole bunch of large and extra larges I done ordered for the summer. I gotta get into.
Right.
I done put too much money into this.
I'm trying to be on the beach with it, like
Where we at?
it's just here floating in your left.
Clean my closet out.
I'm trying to float in my left wrist in my
this
beach. You know what I
40
mean?
ways gotta go.
Right.
see that?
Make room.
So aside from that, they're a mess. Aside from the doctors not really going into detail sometimes because they're afraid to tell you, what are some other challenges that we face in our community that we don't talk about regarding obesity?
Pride.
Oh my gosh. Hit him with the big P.
Strong with that.
She got the big words. She got the big words. The O word.
The P word?
Not that P word, y'all. Not that P
You
word.
said this was the truth. No,
No.
You're right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like this out on the street.
Right.
I ain't doing
Pride
Dropping
is
them
the
big
devil.
words.
It is. Because, okay, and
Talk about it.
so I get it, right? No black person likes to feel like we're in a situation where we don't know something or somebody knows more than we do, right? And so we get in an office.
Hold on, say that again. Because no, that's a gem. Like, say that one
Like
time.
the fact that no black person likes to feel like we don't know something or that we're in a space where somebody knows more than we do.
Unteachable.
Correct. That is a perfect word. And so we get in these offices, and whether it's somebody in, just going through our general wellness visit, somebody is giving us a diagnosis like cancer, whatever, going over our medications, whatever it may be. I see it all the time. And they can be sitting there with a blankest face, and I know very well this person did not get a single thing I just said. Do you have any questions? Nope.
Where they go in their line about their medical history?
Oh, that's my favorite.
I don't get that part.
I don't either. But and it's a little bit better, I think, when the
No, I'll say like because I'll say I get because I get the same thing in my profession. You get the people where you
But
like
you're going for help, so why are you lying? The person's going to help you though. I don't get that.
It's the same mindset that she said. It's the same
pride.
thing.
It's pride.
Especially with men. Especially.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that thing about. I'm gonna say that thing about equal, man. Let me tell you, I had a coworker, man, along with pride, faith too. Faith people you be using faith the wrong way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You understand what I'm saying? They be using spirituality the wrong way. Like,
good.
I'm not gonna put that in the atmosphere because God didn't say it. Bitch, God talked to the doctor and told the doctor to tell you.
I'm gonna drink my drink.
Stop. What you doing, or else you go die. You want to be? God told the doctor. What are you talking about? But God ain't speaking. Hey, no, I'm not putting that in the atmosphere because listen, the Lord ain't say this and yes, He did. And you didn't listen to that prayer because it wasn't right.
A different vessel told him.
That's not you. Didn't want to hear him say, "Put down that donut." You didn't want to hear him say, you understand what I'm saying? And you refused it. You rebuked the doctor. The one person that's here to help your ass. Faith. They call it faith. No, you stubborn.
Yeah.
But and so it really, when I say, especially when the doctor doesn't look like you, so if they're a different race, sometimes it's female with a male doctor, and don't let it be a male patient with a female doctor. Oh my God.
I know she ain't like me anyway, bitch.
That or male patients, y'all are the worst.
No,
I can see it.
Now see, my general practitioner, she's like European, and she's like, she'll straight out tell you, like, the Europeans, they be raw. So you're getting a little fat.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah. If you ever watch 600-Pound Life,
I'm gonna let you get away with that because you ain't from over here. You don't really know.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really know because you ain't from here. So I'm gonna just let that slide.
You can't be used to that F word.
I'm gonna just let that slide. Just say it with a straight face.
Every word is derogatory.
Right.
It should be so nice, and then that's where you have to start again because you're getting up there in age, so you're just gonna fall out one day. If you don't get this something, she be
like your mama,
right?
No, we can. The men, we definitely could be stubborn.
But y'all are prideful.
Yeah.
And so, like, when it is like a female doctor, it's like a female doctor that's not Black, and they're trying to, have a conversation. Maybe they're saying something that you don't understand. I'll be damned, but y'all definitely not answering no questions. Literally sitting there like, any questions? No.
Nah, I listen. I've smartened up. My doctor, she from the motherland, and she looked like a decathlete. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's bad. She like bad rip, even through the smock. Like, you can see, like, she looked like Simone Biles. You know what I'm saying? And she just, like, and she got such a good decorum about her. So professional. So I just be like, let me be smart.
But I love that. Like, and I love that you maybe you went through a couple doctors. So, and I love that you, like, basically advocated for yourself and took the time to find that. And but I don't think enough of us do that. Like, and I don't think enough of us say to ourselves, like, one, we're worth it to put forth that effort, or maybe we don't even know that we can do that. Like, some people don't know that, like, the doctor that's assigned to you or whatever, like, you're not locked in stone. Like, this not no man. Like, you can change. But if you are only going to the doctor once a year, if you are only, like, don't miss that opportunity. Like, first of all, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, we as doctors, like, we don't always remember our patients. Like, when y'all walk out that door, like,
just a name.
Okay.
For some people. So when you guys maybe feel as though, like, oh, I don't want to be judged, I don't want to, we not remembering y'all like that. So, like, ask your questions.
Well, no,
I know.
No,
but you know what I'm saying?
I understand
like, so
that because you also don't, that attachment.
Right.
They do that intentionally.
Sometimes, but, like, I think patients feel like, especially when you're like, nah, I don't want to be, I don't want you to think I'm done. You have all these things in my, like, I don't want you knowing my business. Like, ma'am, the answer is no. No, I'm not holding on to all of that. Like, I can't. One person cannot. So, no, I'm not sitting there keeping a log of, like, all of the juicy things you done told me and blah, 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 blah. No. I don't have the mind power, memory space. Please feel free. This is your time. Exactly. Like, this is your time.
You're getting paid regardless.
Correct. Use it. Tell me all of the things. Tell me all the people that you've been with. Tell me who you just kind of like. Tell me all the things. Like, pretend this is your confessional. Like, I am going to. No, I'm not going to forget. I'm going to forget. Like, when I walk out the door, it's.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Next patient.
To your point, you made a point in your bio to say how you feel the room socially, when you visit people. And actually, I said my general practitioner, who's actually the nurse practitioner or PA, whoever, one of those people that's not the doctor. But I actually requested her because she's conversational, because she talks through things with me. I need that from my doctor. Like, I don't want to just check the boxes. You're good, you're not good, you need to work on this, and you're out. Like, we need to talk about my life, my body. Like, and I need to have a conversation with you, and I need to be able to feel good about asking those questions. So it's very good that you do that. Yeah. And I think most times, and I was like, I went years without switching doctors, thinking I couldn't request that. Like, this is what my insurance gave me, and this who's close. I'm gonna just roll with this. Yeah.
What do you feel is like a driving force for weight loss in the Black community? Like, what are some things that you feel people will get motivated by?
I think information. I think right now I think vanity is one thing that's driving a lot of people. I think social media is driving, and there's not a word, but I'm just using it. I think celebritism.
That's a word. That's a word. Technically, that's a word.
You know, so I think that is driving a lot of people currently, right? Like it's a lot big, you know, this person is using this and blah, 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 blah. So, oh my God, I got, you know, but I would love it to just be information and a passion for our own health, a passion for our own community. We're not there yet, but I would love it to be that.
What about events? I think that's a temporary motivation for Black people, like upcoming events.
What do you mean?
So a person like
birthdays.
Oh yeah, for
my
sure.
Birthday
for sure.
or
New Year's Eve.
my sister's my sister's wedding is this year. I gotta look good in this dress, stuff like that. And then once it happens, it's like back to the drawing board.
But see, I think that's a motivator for the temporary.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I think that's the motivator for the I want to do this quick cleanse, or I want to take the you know. But that's not a motivator for the lifestyle change.
Lifestyle change. That's what. Yeah, right. They always say the diet is passe. It's got to be a lifestyle change. Right. So, why does it seem harder? This is actually Ash's question. Why does it seem harder for people to lose weight as they age?
Hormones. So as we age, hormones come into play. As we age, we have a great deal of more responsibilities. So one of the biggest hormones that come into play is actually a hormone tied to your sleep. So a lot of people aren't aware that the less sleep you get, the more the hungrier you are the next day. So any hours of sleep less than 7 to 8 hours, your body starts to overproduce this hormone called ghrelin. And so a lot of us end up, because whether we're just at work, whether we're at night up tending to the kids, scroll, whatever it may be, so our bodies overproduce this hormone. And so the following day, we end up then basically craving energy because we're tired. But because of that, our body is misinterpreting that craving for energy by getting signals that we're hungry. So we end up finding ourselves eating larger portion sizes at meals, finding ourselves wanting a snack and then going and eating lunch and then wanting a snack and then going and eating dinner and then wanting another snack, because what our body is really saying is, please go to sleep. Please go to sleep. Please go get rest. But because we're not doing that, we're constantly getting this signal to go and eat and go and eat and go and eat, because we're just so busy, always going, because as we get older, we have more and more responsibilities, or at least we put more on ourselves, and we're constantly in this state of go.
Speaking of go, and you talked about social media trends, and Frankie talked about himself actually on Ozempic. Can you give some of the differences between the different ones that are out there now, like Ozempic, and what's some other ones that are out there, guys?
Wegovy.
That's fine.
Yeah, what's the differences?
So, they're actually they're the same. So. So there's the active ingredient, semaglutide and tirzepatide. And so the Wegovy and Ozempic are the same medication and made by the same pharmaceutical company. They're just they are approved for different diagnoses. So Ozempic is semaglutide, so it's once a week, and so is Wegovy. But in order to, typically, most insurances require a diagnosis of diabetes in order to approve Ozempic. And then so Ozempic came first. And then people started using it for weight loss. And so then the pharmaceutical company Novo Nordisk said, well, I can manufacture this, revamp it, put a new name on it, and then remarket it for weight loss. And so then came Wegovy. They're the same drug though. So again, they're both once a week, same medication, both semaglutide or semaglutide, depending on who says it. So then came tirzepatide a couple years later. So that is Mounjaro and Zepbound.
Yeah.
Those two are the same medication, and those are made by Eli Lilly. So the difference between, and those are both once a week as well. So the difference is that studies have shown that the tirzepatide compared to the semaglutide have shown to produce a little bit more weight loss at your 16, 24, 48 weeks with the tirzepatide compared to your semaglutide. So in a nutshell, the Mounjaro and Zepbound is their claim to fame is that it's stronger or more effective, I should say. But and then Mounjaro is to Ozempic what Zepbound is to Wegovy. So Mounjaro needs the diabetes diagnosis like Ozempic, and Zepbound doesn't. So they just need a diagnosis of obesity like Wegovy.
Got you. The side effects, I don't know if everybody experiences it, but
I did.
Yeah, some of the side effects and it's more than just going to the restroom and stuff like that. It's like stronger stuff like memory loss and slurred speech and stuff like that.
For Ozempic or all three?
Ozempic, yeah. Ozempic, yeah. So I had to lower my dosage because I went from a lower dosage to a high dosage kind of fast. Because it seemed like I had sort of quote unquote mastered out of the 0.25 whatever they were giving, so they moved up to 1, and it was just like
you
feeling a little unbalanced, fearful of like simple things like coming down the stairs. Like that. Yeah, so I had to. I read up on a couple of articles, and I didn't want to scare myself, but when I saw some of the similarities, I was like, all right, cool. Wait, let me talk to her about this. So we had to go back down, but I just getting back on track with the weight loss real quick before we start to wrap things up. It doesn't matter if it's a trainer, it doesn't matter if it's an advisor. When you set forth a plan, I know you guys kind of have like not an affinity, but like you get a little agitated when you see somebody that has the potential to stay on track and they just don't. But when you talk about the weight loss journey and it being a lifestyle change, the thing is you're almost asking us to be delusional, because we have to start tricking our mind that we don't like the things that we like. You understand what I'm saying? Like I understand you say the weight loss. The weight loss should be a journey traveled for the rest of your life, a lifestyle change. But I can't hide the fact that I like barbecue. You understand what I'm saying? I can try to change it as much as like this. And we were talking about that before about like vegans, right? That kind of like look down on those. Like, it's like, listen, I'm not gonna trick myself into thinking that I like this non-meat, this plant-based. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care. Impossible, bro. Shut up.
It might go back to before the professional speaks. I'm a guest. I was taking a guess at it. I think it might go back to two things. One, it's almost like what happens spiritually. We change our taste buds a little bit. That's number one. Then it goes back to what Jerry said in season 1. We had the nutritionist on. And it's not necessarily, I don't like pizza anymore, but maybe I won't have 3 slices. Maybe I'll have 1, max out at 2. That's the difference.
They be insinuating don't have it at all. And that's the unrealistic part of it about it. You
Dr. Cee Nicole, chime in, please.
But so, okay, I think, and I'm going to make some people mad. I actually think that that's the difference between a good provider and a not so good provider. Because I think a good provider, meaning someone who starts where the patient is and understands the disease and understands people, doesn't ask people to do what you're suggesting. Like, and you maybe can speak to this, right? Because
I get what you're saying.
Meaning,
it's inhumane almost.
Well,
I got
not
you.
even inhumane. It's just unrealistic.
Unrealistic, right? Yeah.
So I don't, as a doctor, like I don't ever tell somebody to eliminate, give up, or like any of the above. Because number one, I started off saying, "Where's the drink?" Right? Like, so I don't ask somebody to give up, take away, blah blah blah. Like, I don't, I start off my appointments walking through your day. What do you eat? When do you eat? All of the things. And then my goal is to, one, maybe find alternatives that look like what you're already doing. I shift a little bit, and my philosophy is I'm gonna maybe steer the boat a little bit at a time, but in reality, anybody who goes from here to here, that's a recipe for I'm gonna tip the boat over each and every time, because nobody can realistically overhaul their life overnight, because they can maybe do it for a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months, but I cannot do that for the rest of my life. And that's the reality with keto diets, intermittent fasting. That's what all of those things are. No one can do that sustainably. That may not be a word either, but no one can do that. Okay, fantastico. No one can do that long term, and that's the problem with dieting. But like you said, like the issue is that I'm never going to ask you to give up pizza, but maybe together we decide that, you know what, I love pizza, but maybe there's another way that instead of going and getting it from Domino's, and God knows what they put in their ingredients and how they make it, and even if they wash their hands, but maybe I decide I'm gonna make it at home, and I'm gonna make my own dough. And you know what? Today I made it with these ingredients, but you know what? I wanna try maybe using, instead of regular flour, today I'm gonna use almond flour, and I'm gonna cut down on some of the carbs. And then now, you know what? I have decided that instead of just using regular tomato sauce and paste, I'm gonna just mix in some, spinach and da-da.
So substitutions.
But also adding, whatever, and making it greener or however it may be. But I'm going to find maybe a healthier way to do it, because that's just actually what I want to do. And now I'm growing my own vegetables because I see the benefit of that. And now I'm buying organic from a farmer's market because I actually genuinely see the benefit of that for me and my family. Not because someone told me that, but because of this journey, I learned that, and I'm excited to do that. And I think, again, a good provider encourages and motivates you to want to do that, versus saying, okay, from now on, no more this, no more this, no more that, no more that. You're gonna be like, same thing, and then any questions? Nope.
Then you end up beating yourself up for that bag of chips. Yeah.
Correct. And then when you come back the next visit, so how do things go? Great.
And then what you find though is like, okay, for me the alternatives don't ever taste as good, right? However, the more I eat some of the alternatives and I go back to the old thing, I'm like, I can't stand but so much of it, or I can't really stand it as much. Yeah. It's kind of like I start to taste the ill in it more than the good stuff. You know what I mean? So even if I do get that feel of it, so I 1-2 bites or a couple pieces, I got my fill, I'm good. Because anything more than that, I'm going to start to feel. I remember somebody back when before McDonald's changed their chicken nuggets, the way they used to make them with everything in them, other than just chicken, right? It was somebody, I thought she was exaggerating. Later on in life, I learned she wasn't. She bit into a chicken nugget. She didn't eat pork. She hadn't ate pork for so long, she could taste the pork in the chicken nugget. And it made her sick. And I was like, she's trying to go home from work. But, like, when you really turn your body off from something, it gets turned off from something to where it gets reintroduced. You feel it. And it may not agree, So I think it's a mixture.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, those of us who are not doing Ozempic or may not be trying to do crash diets and work in the office at a desk all day.
Not obese.
Not obesity.
Have obesity. I don't have the disease.
Speaking from the non-obese side of the table.
But those of us who work in the office or sit at a desk all day long and do not work out as we should, or do not crash diet, or et cetera, all the things as you say, what are some tricks that we can use to not gain weight or not gain as much? Because I've whether they say or not, like, I'm not obese, right? But I got a little pouch now, right? So.
You know how many times you had to take that picture? So
yes,
the two of us are obese. And you see
like
her.
good.
You look. She ain't even happy with herself. Look at her face.
I'm gonna just take
And
this.
let me just take this to please.
But
I guess.
as you said, you know your body, right? So I know how I used to, right? Some things I just can't do or wear anymore.
Right.
Gummy worms. Some gummy worms.
So
that's how it's the sweets.
What are some tips and tricks that you can help us, those out there that can help not gain so much weight, or what should we do to not stack on?
One thing is don't eat when you're not hungry. So
snack at the desk.
Well, a lot of us have been like conditioned from family, just US commercials, that like we've got to be on this like breakfast, lunch, maybe a snack in between dinner schedule, right? But the reality is, like, especially for people who work at a desk, who don't necessarily work out, we don't burn off enough calories to warrant eating a breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. So you're gonna be over consuming calories every single time. So learning to listen to your body and really genuinely say, like, is this hunger? Am I just thirsty? Am I tired? Or is it just saying I'm bored? Or none of the above, right? Versus like, if everyone's going to lunch, so I'm going to lunch too. But like, are you actually hungry, or are you just eating because everybody else is eating? And being okay with saying, I'm not hungry, so I'm just not going to eat. Like, you don't have to eat every meal just because everybody else around you is eating. And being okay with that. And meals don't have to look like something that you chew, right? So like a breakfast can be a protein shake or, something like that. A lunch can be the same. Like some days I'm busy and I'm drinking a protein shake for breakfast and lunch. And that's because I'm not hungry, because I'm literally sitting at a desk all day and I'm okay with that, And then setting yourself up for success, right? So if you're at a place, in a workplace where people are obnoxious and like constantly have like the snack, baskets with the candy and the da-da-da. And if you find yourself constantly walking by and like not being able to resist that temptation, no problem. Like, okay, so say to yourself, listen, I like sweets. I like chocolate. No problem. But instead of then walking past that chocolate and each and every day picking up that Snickers, there are other things that are like chocolate, not alternative, but chocolate that, like, for example, Lily's, that is sweetened with stevia. So put that in your desk, or put something that is also sweet, like freeze-dried strawberries or something like that, so that when you get a craving, you have something that is on the healthier side that you can pick from, so that it prevents you from constantly going to that. So if you're a salt person or a savory person, instead of going to grab the chips, have already some almonds or something like that at your desk that you can then pull from. Yeah, every now and then you're still gonna go get the chips, cool, no problem. But at least, again, you're setting yourself up for success because you already have your own stash.
Yeah. Fortunately, I love dark chocolate, so at least there's the antioxidants in that.
And dark chocolate usually is unsweetened, so you win.
So Delta, I work in Delta's building, and they came back in the office a couple months ago, and I love them because they got the bougie snacks, right? So it's not like the Doritos. They have the rice cakes. They're like shaped like Doritos, and then they have little fruit bars. And so instead of getting the Snickers or the gummy bears like I normally would get, or the Twizzlers, I get the little fruit bars now, or the little rice cake chips, whatever. But they are good though. But I find myself just sitting there eating all day long. What's wrong? She about to burst my bubble.
Get it.
Eating it all day long.
No.
They got preservatives.
No, those are, so.
Go ahead, just go burst the bubble. Go ahead. Give me the bad word. Give me the bad word.
Those are still carbs, just like, so a rice cake chip is a carb, just like a regular chip. So the body breaks it down just like
the same way. I thought I was doing better. I was like, ooh, what about the organic fruit bars?
They're full of sugar.
Organic. They say it's organic.
And preservatives.
Well, I do eat cucumbers. Those are good.
There you go.
That's good. I eat
Yes.
that. I eat 4 a day.
You put salt on them?
Oh, what?
No, I mean, that's going to be better than that's
I
going to be
put
better than
tagine
chips.
on there, tagine whenever
Yeah,
tagine. And
that's
then
gonna be much better than,
pepper,
like,
and then
yep.
your dressing on there. And
Yes.
I eat those about 4 a day.
No, you were saying about like the scheduling. It's crazy because I mean I can see obviously what's good for the goose, not necessarily good for the gander, but like I feel scheduling it works better for me when I diet because when I do like something like an intermittent faster, and I do get hungry, my eyes are bigger than my stomach, and I don't complete my meal. I'm satisfied fast, and then I didn't eat the entire thing. Whereas if I would have, when I go by a schedule and I do kind of like force myself to snack in between meals and things of that nature, I do feel like that works for me a little bit better for some reason. I don't know why. The intermittent fasting that just, first off, as a diabetic, that's not good.
Right. And I'm not saying necessarily go like 12, 14 hours with that. Like, I'm not saying go all day. But my point is, like, if you've eaten breakfast and it's lunchtime,
really
right,
hungry.
and you're not hungry at 12, don't eat at 12. Wait just to be eating. Maybe wait until you're actually hungry. So wait until 2. Like, wait until your body is telling you it is hungry. Because I think when we get into the practice of eating just to be eating, it's a slippery slope because that practice translates in a lot of different areas, right? So that's also the same practice of I'm at home on, bored on the weekends and I have nothing to do, so I'm just running back and forth to the pantry. Yeah. I'm not hungry. I'm not, but it's there, and so I'm just gonna get a snack. Yeah. That's the same as I'm sitting and because I'm watching a movie and TV and movies are associated with me eating popcorn or snacks, I'm going to get a snack because you ain't hungry.
Hold on. I got the stuff.
So it's like, it's that same
I can't
practice.
watch TV without
All right, everybody. It's been a great show.
You won't start TV until you have a snack ready, you got your food ready, then you get planned.
Right.
So you got everything lined up.
Everything's
Like,
paused.
hey, yo.
Everything's
But it's
paused.
kind of like, but it's like, but you just finished dinner though. Like, so are we hungry?
It just
Popcorn's
goes
a dessert.
good.
Is it?
No, he and I have the same, like Achilles heel popcorn.
Movie popcorn. From the
Specifically from the theater.
You know how AMC got the $20 bag?
Yeah.
They know me.
Well, he do that. I don't do that. I go bucket, half and half with it. You spinning that joint like I be talking to people inside like, hey, what's going on? What you going to see? I don't even go see a movie. Like
I walk out with the popcorn.
He's
They be like, I walk out with the popcorn.
Yeah.
They be like,
See, like when I go to the movies, like I know that. So I do this. Like I love movies. I love popcorn.
Yeah.
But if I know I'm going to get popcorn, like that might be my dinner and or lunch. Like that's because I know I'm eating.
That's crazy talk.
You know, like I know
Foolery.
eating the popcorn.
Nah, 2 weeks ago when I went, I get it once a week. I told him about it. 2 weeks ago when I went, the dude said, back for that long.
Don't let them know you don't like that.
Yeah, I was like, nigga.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
They don't know you by name.
Look, they give me the bag, the big bag. AMC give me the big bag, but then they give you the butter joint to take home.
No, they don't.
And then
know.
old
What
girl,
AMC you go to?
Old girl didn't see. I was like, yo,
cannot.
she don't know. She ain't give me the
I don't know.
She just gave me the popcorn. Like, what am I supposed to do? Raw popcorn?
I don't know why you like that big bag, but I'm just a bucket. I just a bucket the last couple of days, and then you know what I'm saying, my craving's over till next week. See you next Tuesday.
Why you don't like the big bag?
I can't do the big bag. That lasts
I
too
share it
long.
with the family.
Well,
Yeah, the
you
kids
got-
take it
you
to
got
school
more
for
kids.
lunch.
So
Right.
wait, and then you no.
You got more kids than me.
Number one, and then so you come home and then it's like cold. That ain't even. You just playing games because that ain't even good.
Well,
You gotta know how to listen to it. You gotta know how to, yeah, cause I'll be taking it to work too. Heat it up for just like another 20 seconds. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The O word. Drop the O word on them, doc. Drop the O word on them, doctor.
We obese.
Drop the O word on them, doctor.
Damn.
That's just
She gonna stop calling us names.
Ain't nothing wrong with
That
raw
first
popcorn.
off.
I don't think. Is raw popcorn?
Raw popcorn.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, is it?
Okay.
Because if it ain't air pop, then
Because I ain't have
it's all unhealthy, right?
Let's be clear. I ain't had popcorn in about a month now, and I'm craving it. We had family movie night the other night, and I ain't even had no popcorn with them. They're like, Dad, not having popcorn? Oh my God. Oh my God. Yep.
Dr. Cee, tell them about popcorn. Is it good for you?
It ain't bad.
Dr. Cee Nicole, the only doctor in the room.
I will say it does. No, it's a carb, and it's not good for you because it does nothing.
She's
there's
appalled
nothing
right
in
now.
there.
Come from the earth.
Right. It's a kernel. Yeah.
It's a seed.
So okay, right.
Heroin comes
Right.
from the earth too. So, but I mean,
Dr. Sebi.
Hey,
She said heroin.
Hey, don't they put that in drugs? See what I'm
Right.
saying? See what I'm saying? Too much is where it
Put
comes
the
in
chicken. They
at.
put it in the
Too
chicken.
much is where the problem comes in at. I eat popcorn moderately.
Dr.
me, I want
Cee
some-
Nicole. Frank said, look.
She already know how.
I love
she,
popcorn.
Tell me
be
what
having
you
to
want.
reel me back in.
I love pie, and it don't matter. It's stuck
Right.
in your teeth and all that.
My kids bought ice cream for the first time in 2 months.
That's another Achilles heel too.
Yeah.
We got a couple. That's
Like
now
that.
we going into the
They,
O.
they was like,
Now we going into the O.
With the
Oh, hit him with the O,
They
Dr.
tried
Nicole.
to sabotage my pockets. They was like, Dad, we got you ice cream. Knowing I ain't had ice cream in 2 months. I was like,
And the crazy
I was like,
thing,
Dr. Cee Nicole said we can't have ice cream.
Right.
Like,
And the crazy thing about it is I know I'm
you-
lactose.
Because if you
That's the
think I'm
wild
buying
part
ice cream to
about
watch you eat it, you wild. That's wild behavior. No, but I can
ice
have
cream.
something
I've always
like
been
that.
an ice cream fanatic. I've always been. I don't do.
We
the
need to have you
cakes.
back on the show. We need to.
What about the air?
He's still back on the popcorn.
What's the-
He
yeah,
looks
what's the
upset.
alternative? What's the
He looks
alternative?
upset
What you
about
gonna
this
say?
popcorn.
What's the alternative for ice cream? You gonna say that nasty ass lactate?
I mean,
Yes. No.
no,
Yeah.
no. I mean,
Trying to find the words.
I don't have.
There's no alternative?
No, Jay looks
Like
so hurt.
maybe like a.
He
I
looks
mean,
so
like
hurt.
making a fruit popsicle.
Okay.
Is it the creaminess? Like what flavor ice cream do you like?
I'm a Ben & Jerry's fan.
Okay. Also, if you're gonna do it, do
Right.
it for real.
Right.
And that is not it.
What?
What?
Ooh.
Ben & Jerry's?
Ben and Jerry's is offensive.
So what are you talking about?
First of all, if I'm gonna eat ice cream, it has to be Haagen-Dazs.
Yes, my girl.
I mean, I do both.
Okay, there's no both.
There's no both.
There's no both in
There's
what?
no both.
First off, Cherry Garcia's is golden.
Okay, first of all, that's a fail. And also, there's only one version of ice cream. If you're going to eat it, it has to be Haagen-Dazs.
I only
If
eat one,
not-
only eat one flavor in Haagen-Dazs.
What?
Rum raisin.
Listen,
Okay,
they brought
if
me.
not, you're just wasting calories.
They brought me home Briars the other day. I was like,
That's a waste.
'cause
Yeah,
I used to
I
be
don't
a,
eat that,
I used to be
but
a
I'm
big
Haagen-Dazs and Ben
big
Jerry's.
time Briars, but I've been I was on the ice on the
It was.
Haagen-Dazs. I look down.
This Vermont's finest. That's what this dairy country right there. What are we talking about?
First of all, I don't live in, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my
God.
Hey, just
goodness.
start eating
I don't
Haagen-Dazs
like
straight
ice
for a little while, and you'll switch over. You never.
No, I mean, it's no switching. I do both.
I do both.
Because I'm both. That's why we know. Shut up, Ashley.
I didn't say nothing.
Anyway.
I didn't say nothing.
Anyway, so.
How are Outshine popsicles? Are they good for you?
sugar-
They
They're
do
pretty
have
good.
the sugar-free
Yeah,
ones.
they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Very
I eat
refreshing.
the raspberry
We bought
ones
them
like
on some
like a
spring
fake.
break for the kids. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, they're pretty
They're
good.
refreshing too.
Yeah, oh, I love them. Raspberry ones are my favorite.
Everybody checking their snacks now.
I
Cherry
know.
Garcia, New York chocolate fudge, what? Half
We
baked.
gotta have you back on the show, Dr. Cee Nicole.
Not even
Yeah.
one time.
You see our food choices. Just I'm like
You
rice
got
cakes,
it.
yay, and you're like air popcorn. You're like yeah, and you're like no, both y'all failed. Y'all all
hard.
failed in the snack department. Yeah, it's a fail, guys. It's a fail.
First off, Talenti is.
Aside from the tips,
All right, kids.
aside from the choices, alternatives
Dr. Cee
on
Nicole
on
said
the
popcorn's
snacks,
heroin, so we can't have it.
you can't have popcorn no more, y'all.
You little
What
addict.
you say?
Once a week visits. Anywho,
What you say
Go
that?
ahead, Ash.
aside from the alternatives, because obviously we're failing on that department, doctor.
Yeah.
Are there any other things that you want to drop for the people and us as well? Obviously, we need to learn too.
Takeaways.
Before you leave, that we need to know, like,
Take away the
get
other than
us
truth or chasing is
together.
unhealthy.
All right.
What are your top 3 tips, your top 3 gems that you want to leave with us and the people out there?
One, you're a priority, and you should treat yourself as one. So make it a point to go to the doctor. Make it a point to ask questions. Make it a point to take your medicine. Make it a point to get that screening, get those labs, the mammograms, the colonoscopy. again, we die so much more frequently than other races, and we don't have to, and we shouldn't. And we really shouldn't, because we're leaving our kids behind, our sisters, our parents. And so again, we are a priority, and we should treat ourselves as one. The second one is if you feel like either your doctor isn't treating you like a priority, or if you feel unheard by your doctor, if you feel like you are uncomfortable asking questions, if you feel just uncomfortable just literally being your most authentic self, find another doctor. Like, not today, yesterday. Find a doctor immediately so that you can feel comfortable getting the best care, because you deserve it. The third thing is, don't be afraid when someone uses the word obesity, because it encompasses more than just weight. And I think weight loss it's not it. Like, that's such a temporary thing. And treating obesity is so much bigger than that. Like, it is the high blood pressure, it is the gout, it is it's the colon cancer, it is the which, by the way, like, we are being affected with, like, at such young ages, and that's ridiculous. It's the breast cancer, the prostate cancer, it is the urinary incontinence. That's another thing people don't talk about, and women don't talk urinary incontinence. It's the sleep apnea, which people like literally dismiss and like sweep under the rug as though it's just I snore a little, but don't really understand that, like, literally people have strokes and die in their sleep and that's related to obesity. It's so much more, and it should be treated. It should be like addressed. It should be fought like vigorously. Like, it should be attacked every single day. And if your doctor isn't someone who is like aggressive about it, if your doctor is someone who shames you and just tells you, oh, go out, exercise, make better eating choices, like, find somebody else that is going to hear you and make you feel comfortable, knowing that, like, it's more than just diet and exercise, and it's going to help you with the tools, the resources, the medications, the whatever it is, so that you can become healthier.
I love your passion. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I think
Definitely
we all learned
have
a
to
lot.
be passionate with all those stuff. Did you see our resume?
Yeah.
Everywhere. That's a lot of passion.
Yeah, I was like, Black Girl Magic.
So to recap,
Award-winning.
the first thing we learned, everybody, boys and girls, you're not fat, you're obese.
You have obesity.
You caught obesity. No, I'm just kidding. You have obesity. And we can't be afraid of the word. Why? Because it's something that can be treated, and a lot of underlying health conditions that are attached to that, as I have personally learned. We talked about struggles with the weight in the Black community specifically, not only being struggles with our physical health, but also socially, and how that plays into that. Talked a little bit about why it's harder to lose weight as we get older, what causes that. So make sure you follow. If you missed that, for our target audience, make sure you rewind back through the show and listen to that as well. And then she gave some tips and tricks for some of us who are working from home or not tied to a desk, don't get to move around as much. What are some of our choices can be, not only as far as our eating choices, but our scheduling of our eating. And then also just in a recap to make sure find the right doctor for you, find the right treatment plans, make sure that you matter. Good stuff. So if you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, great. Most of our listeners listen through Apple. If you are on an Apple and you're listening through Apple Podcast app, make sure you support the show by going in and clicking that link, support the show, so that we can have more production, more quality production, bring on more dynamic guests to share very pertinent facts to our community. Also, if you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, make sure you check out the visual version on youtube.com. That is youtube.com/The Truth No Chaser. And of course, if you are listening or viewing on youtube.com, make sure you check out the audio version of this podcast, not only through Apple, but through everywhere you could find your favorite podcast.
And until next time, keep walking in your truth, Black people.